I really hate that I'm making this video. I really do. Okay. Tommy Robinson, not his real name. His real name and aliases will be down below if you're really interested. Was arrested, charged with contempt of court and sentenced for 13 months. Okay, look. Let me be completely honest. I do not like Tommy Robinson at all. I think he is a scumbag piece of shit, and that's probably going to come out in this video. But being held, a prison sentence for 13 months on what happened is stupid. It is unbelievably stupid and highlights the massive flaws and issues that we have with our free speech in this country. Now, for everyone that doesn't know, he was recording outside of a court. The courts didn't like it, so they had him arrested. I think it's within an hour of being arrested, he was charged and sentenced and is now, I assume, if not in prison, on his way to prison for 13 months. Excuse me. Now look, courts typically don't like people recording outside of them, and the reason for that is very simple. It can compromise a case. So unless you actually have a press badge, courts don't want you anywhere near them recording. It doesn't matter if you have the permission of old Bobby down the road whose shop you're standing outside of. It doesn't really matter if you have permission from the police like he did, because ultimately it comes down to the courts, and the courts enforce what the police enforce what the courts say. And the courts ultimately wanted him gone. Now, the end result of this decision is wrong. He shouldn't be in prison for 13 months. If the simple fact that this was done so quickly is very, very suspicious, but I don't believe in any of the defences that I've heard for Tommy about this. One of them being that the guy that represented him was a standard solicitor and wasn't his solicitor, so didn't really know what the contempt charges in court being. Now look, that doesn't make sense, because you can be held in contempt in any court case at any given time. So every given solicitor and lawyer or legal specialist is very aware of contempt rules and cases. I am not a legal expert by any means. I don't even work in the legal field. However, I do know a few rules about being held in contempt. It's not really specialist. So for that as a defense, I'm sorry, that doesn't quite work. He did plead guilty. I don't know why he pleaded guilty. Probably thought that it would be make the whole thing go a lot quicker and everything. But then even if he pleaded not guilty, still 13 months is way too excessive. But that's what we're faced with. Another reason that people are saying is because he's right-wing and the government doesn't like people who are right-wing. Clearly people who are saying this haven't been paying attention, because our government is right-wing. Theresa May is right-wing. Boris Johnson is extremely right-wing and extremely racist. The BBC is a right-wing leaning media. Sky News, a right-wing leaning media. They don't like people on the left, they don't like progressives, but people on the right, they adore. The fact that Tommy Robinson gets a bit of shit now and then is because he comes up with something so unbelievably moronic that it makes even the biggest bigots roll their eyes. I take serious issue with almost everything that he says, and I think he deserves to be in prison, but not for this. He is a wife beater. He has assaulted many different people. He is a thief and a con man and a hate monger. So yeah, he should be in prison for any one of those, but for this, no, this is wrongful imprisonment, and it highlights how flawed free speech is in this country and the level of corruption that goes throughout the police force and throughout the government and throughout the media, really, of what they choose to report on. I don't want to quote films, but when reporters decide, or when editors to decide what to report, they are deciding what matters. Unfortunately, free speech isn't something that's covered a lot, and it doesn't tend to matter to, well, the larger media. But I want to end this video not only saying that for this in particular, for being held in contempt, is a wrongful imprisonment, but I want to say what makes Great Britain great, because it's not what Robinson has been saying for all these years. It's not what Britain First has been saying for all these years. What makes Great Britain great is the multiculturalism. The fact that we embrace cultures all around the world for everything good that they have to offer. It doesn't matter if they have a god who's named Vishnu or Allah or Ganesh or any other billions of gods that mankind has invented. It doesn't matter if they pray 5 times a day, go to church, or think the whole thing's stupid. We embrace other countries, and that's what makes us thrive. Keeping to this old notion of Britain for the British, there ain't no black on the Union Jack, is fucking stupid. We need to embrace other cultures because that's how countries grow. That's how people grow. I'm glad to say that these monstrous ideas of Britain for the British are a minority, but I'm sad to say that they have any kind of traction whatsoever. Crime isn't dependent on what god you follow or what your ethnicity is. Those are things that get spread around as if they actually mean something when they mean jack shit. This country is great because we encourage and we embrace different cultures. It is just that simple.